Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom, Brother Nakwam.
Brother Zamron.
Coming back at you with these precepts and another live, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach, Kwamalak Yahushai. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David, the mighty elders of Israel, who's been in this truth before us for decades and decades, throughout these different congregations, laboring fervently and doing the work of Yahweh by Shema Yahushai. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there, or the mighty men of the Most High, right? Let's put them men out there first and foremost, the men out there in the highways and byways, risking their life and enduring all things for the elect's sake, presenting their body a living sacrifice, and magnifying the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? We would be remiss if we didn't mention those brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, man, on the front lines doing the work of the Most High God. And shalom to all of the men that are coming to this truth. They may not be out there as yet, but they're learning. They're building themselves up. They're getting themselves in order. They're praying. They're fasting, right? They're doing the work of the Most High. They're learning. And shalom to those men as well. Shalom to all of the sisters out there, the widows, the married, the unmarried, those who have husbands who reverence them, keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, those who may not, who are solely focused on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, building up their spirit as a righteous daughter of Zion in the last days. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the young men and women out there, the children. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Brakatham, Kwam Yashala. The topic of this live is, are you watching? Right? We want to go into this every rather we do it every week, right? Or rather we do it every other week. We want to go more and more into these current events as we see the day approaching, right? We want to go more into, particular current events, prophecy, and touch on what the Most High is doing on the earth, that our people can see these current events going on and find that it's directly mentioned in the Bible. A lot of things that we see trending on social media, rather it's Twitter, rather it's Instagram, rather it's Snapchat, rather it's Facebook, or rather you see something in the sports world, or you see something on podcast or radio shows, and we don't understand that everything is the handiwork of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Everything's being orchestrated by the Most High God. So if you understand that, then you would understand that if everything's been orchestrated by the Most High God, then it would directly tie in with the Bible, man, with the scriptures. So for everything going on the earth, we could pull precepts on it and show you the handiwork of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. And we're going into this, right? Balenciaga, sorcery, riots in China, and other current events that are going on the earth right now, man. Right, but you got it, King.
Khan. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Kwamalak Yahushai. And like the brother is saying, we living in these last days, man. So everything has to be revealed. You can't be surprised being an Israelite in this truth when you're seeing the downfall of our enemies, whether it's dealing with their major corporations or their businesses, things of that nature. These things were set up to happen. These things were ordained from the beginning. Thus said the Lord, man. Right? But you got it, King.
Khan, and I want to touch into it. Brothers may have seen it. You may not have seen it. I want to get this precept first before we dive into it, right? A lot of this stuff is, what the world calls graphic content, right? A lot of this stuff is rated R. A lot of this stuff is explicit, man. So if you got the children, you know what I'm saying? Hey, tuck them in, man, right? Put them to bed early because we're going to bring out everything. We're not going to sugarcoat nothing. We're not going to beat around the bush. We're not going to hold our tongue or bite our tongue. Hey, if the children are watching, put them to bed, man, because what you're about to witness, if you haven't seen it already, is complete lewdness, madness, and just downright evil, man. Now, let me get this in the book of Luke, the 8th chapter. We got to put that disclaimer out there, right? This ain't Luke chapter 8 and verse 17. I'm going to read it. It reads, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So things that are done in secret, illuministic sacrifices, sorcery, witchcraft, CP. If you don't know what CP is, then you gotta figure it out, right? CP, sex trafficking, all of these things at one time they were done in the dark. Now, you may think this is new. You're watching what's going on with Balenciaga. You see what's happening. You say, that's a new thing. The Most High said that there is no new thing under the sun. It's just being brought to light now in the age of social media, in the age of damn phones, iPhones, and everybody's taking a pic and screenshots and whistleblowers. This stuff that was been going on for decades and decades, which is really a backbone of American society, it's just being brought to light, man. What do you think? Balenciaga is 5 years old, right? Do you think the Hollywood fashion and the industry and the music industry, do you think that's just 20 years old, man? This stuff goes back decades and decades, man. It ultimately goes back to the ancient world. We're going to cover that. If you got a precept, Zamrod, like I said, you can get in there and bring it up.
Khan, I want to second off what you just said, man, because things are being brought to the light. And we give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High for that, man. This is Luke chapter 12, verses 2 through 3. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. So it's our job as men of the Lord, when we are seeing these secrets being revealed, to proclaim this, man, to let our nation know as far as what's going on. Like the brother Naquam said, we are not holding anything back, man. We have to let our nation know as far as what's going on with our enemies, man, because we are living in the times of revealing as we are approaching these last days, as we're living in these last days. So the so-called white man, right, our enemies, they can do everything that they can do, right, to try to hide their secrets, to try to hide what they're doing behind the closet, man, on that R. Kelly type tip. But the Most High is going to sit there and reveal these things, man, right? Because he is thus said the Lord. And there's nothing that our enemies, it is nothing that even us as Israelites can do about it, but sit back and enjoy the show and let our people know. Go ahead, Ken.
Right. And the Most High said, first, let me make sure this is showing. You able to see this, King?
Con.
All right, I'll praise to the Most High. Right, let me look at it, make sure it's all right. So this is the deal right here, right? This is the deal, and this is further. The Most High is doing this to further let you know who the wicked are. See, first, the Most High has sent the men of the Lord out there, and as of late, the Most High has put the spirit on celebrities and athletes to put it out there. And now, if you didn't know that they are the wicked, and the so-called white man and his elites, ruling class, are being fueled by the spiritual demon Satan. If you didn't know it by now, now you know. Because I remember, even in middle school, high school, and we was into that conspiracy theory stuff, even growing older, man. Brothers was looking up conspiracy theories, knew about the Illuminati, knew about these things, and you always had a particular class of people, chiefly Jake, that would always give you pushback. And they would scoff and say that's a conspiracy theory, that's not real, you can't prove that. That's those people who once used those words, conspiracy theory, or used those words, there is no Illuminati, there is no secret societies, there is no witchcraft and sorcery in high places. The Most High is letting you know that not only are you being found a liar, but he's bringing it to light on a high level, man. And a lot of you Jakes who are in the world, even you may not even believe that you're an Israelite or believe that you're from one of the 12 tribes. You may be in Christianity or in Islam or Catholicism, but even you have to admit that this is off. See, the Most High is doing this to galvanize Israel, man, to stir up their spirit. No matter where you have come from, you're going to know that the so-called white man is the wicked if you didn't know. And that's what Yahweh Shai is doing, man. Right? The average Jake who smokes weed, who man robbed his own brother last night, may have saw this morning and said the so-called white man is the devil, man. Maybe those guys were right. I walked past those men on the highways and byways. They were saying the white man is the devil and that they're the wicked. Hey, maybe those guys are right, man. Maybe next time I'll actually drop by the camp and let me see what those guys are talking about. Let me hear what the men of the Lord are actually saying. All right, let me get this precept real quick in the book of Ephesians. Then I'm going to go into this. All right, we're going to dissect it and go into it. Let's go to Ephesians, the 6th chapter. Let's get the classic. Right, Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. Right, and this article, we're going to touch on it. This is from the cut.com. What to know about the Balenciaga ad scandal, and you can clearly see the evil. Now you got people saying, well, it's not that bad. They're using excuses. Oh, it's Halloween. Give them a break. Let them explore. Let them find themselves. You have people actually saying stuff like that, man. Right? This Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. It reads, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So the Most High is letting you know, where's the conspiracy theory in Ephesians 6 and 12? Who are the rulers of the darkness of this world, man? Who exercise spiritual wickedness in high places? Who could that be speaking about? Who are the rulers of darkness of this world? It's not talking about your local mayor or your congressman. It's speaking about men above them, man. These elites, top-notch celebrities, illuministic rituals, sacrifices, CP, trafficking. These are the things that, and Esau is getting a lot more bold, man. This is bold. Now, you may say, well, I don't know what I'm looking at. Well, if you don't know what you're looking at, I don't know if we have to go into it, man. This is a child with a teddy bear, but the teddy bear, and we got to use our words wisely, right? The bear has, Zamar, what word should we use, man?
Restraints
on them, right? And not just restraints like tape or head. These are lewd, immoral, right? We're trying to keep biblical words. Damn, sex restraints, man. We'll just call it what it is, man.
Man.
Right? We're not, like I said, we're not going to beat around the bush. Just lewd restraints, man. You got it, King.
God. And this is madness when you're looking at this, right? You literally have a lot of our brothers, right? Before we even came into this truth, you even still got brothers that was in this truth that rocks Balenciaga clothing before this actually came out, not even knowing what was going on behind the scenes, and as we're seeing this stuff manifest, it should constantly remind you. It reminds me of this precept. I'm going to bring out Sirach chapter 11, verse 4. And it says, boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor, for the works of the Lord are wonderful, and the works among men are hidden. So these works that we're seeing that has been done by Balenciaga were hidden from us. But like the brother was saying, this stuff is being brought out to the light, right? And you got a lot of our people that boast in Balenciaga clothing. Yeah, I got this Balenciaga coat on. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Oh, you see my new Balenciaga shoes, right? Hey, especially dealing with Jake and Eve, right? They boast in the clothing that's created from the so-called white man, which is why that we can't sit all of our hopes, into this thing, man. Because behind Esau, man, is nothing but wickedness, man. And these are things that we have to realize. Go ahead, King.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying you're absolutely right, man. These are rappers with the Balenciaga, man. Shoes, right. Shirts. It's a big deal to Jake, man.
Madness.
It's madness. Trying to keep up with the so-called white man. All of these top clothing brands that Jake loved, Louis Vuitton, YSL, Balenciaga, Tom Ford, they're all homosexual Edomites and heathen for the most part.
God.
Right? Why are you trying to put on the attire of and you're breaking bank? I see Jake catching the bus with Balenciaga shoes on, man. Your children have no Pampers and diapers but you have a Balenciaga shirt on, right? Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Look at this.
Madness.
And this stuff, like you said, this stuff isn't cheap, man. I've never owned anything Balenciaga, man. I don't have it like that, right? I don't have it like that, man. You know, a lot of brothers, you know, even if we had it, a lot of brothers in the truth wouldn't do it. But we know we came from the world and brothers had it. That was a thing in the world. But nevertheless, Jake is trying to fit in and keep up with the standards of the so-called white man. If Tom Ford, the CEO of Balenciaga, YSL, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, all of these top brands that Jake boasts on and kill each other over, they're ran by homosexual Edomites who pop little kids, man, straight up and down, and have feasts of blood and do strange rites and sell the Negro in the ghettos and the slums his clothes. And a lot of these guys said these clothes weren't even made for you. Tom Ford, they didn't make this for the Negro that lives in the ghetto and the slums. This stuff was supposed to be made for upper echelon, rich, elite Edomites, man. Timberlands, Louis Vuitton, that stuff, Prada, that wasn't made for Keisha and Toya on the east side of Detroit, man, or the south side of Chicago, or Brooklyn. That was made for these demonic Edomites, man, and Sodomites. But now, Jake, you don't know that, you know, and now you go out your way. Look at this.
That's
to freak off. Look at this. To freak off, man. You can get these from the thrift store. You know?
They used to make shoes like that in Payless, man. In Payless.
Yeah, those are Payless shoes. But now I say Balenciaga on there, and we're gonna go into what that word means, right? We've been saying it all day. The Most High put the spirit on people to bring that out, man. I look like something I wore in the 4th grade. But Jake could kill a brother over this, man. They'll work 3 jobs to get these shoes and wear them one time. When they commit adultery, they'll wear these shoes to impress another man. That's what Jake do anyway. You want to impress, you're not even looking to impress a woman. You're doing it to show off for another man. We know you Negroes, man. We used to be you. You got it, King. I got precept after.
Yeah, this a quick precept on that, man. And it goes back into our people not only having respect of persons, but literally having a respect for your enemy. Right? And this is James chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. So you got a lot of Jakes and Eve, you know, when they put on Balenciagas, they feel like they just better, right, than their own brothers and sisters. They start to look down on their own brothers and sisters who don't have what they have, right? Like the brother shown right here with these pink high moon shoes. Look like you're trying to go to the moon with them shoes on, man. Right. And all this stuff does is just goes back to what we're seeing being exposed right now, right? We can't sit there and just have a respect of persons, man. We have to have respect unto the Most High Yahweh, right? Why not support, right, your own brothers and sisters in this truth, right, who are coming out with clothing, right? You got a lot of Jakes and Eve. They'll sit there and complain and be like, oh, brother, I don't like that chosen wear you got coming out. $45, brother. That's too much. But you sit there and pay an arm and a leg, half a stack, man, right, just to dress like damn Birdman, who's a homosexual, man. Salakia, who's a sodomite, right? Or Little Wayne, right, who's also a sodomite. Damn Young Thug, who's a sodomite. Why do you think that Balenciaga, right, in these high-end fashions companies, you think that Jake and Eve that have made a covenant with the wicked, that they're literally spending all their money on this stuff? What you have to understand is that when you make a covenant with the wicked, 90% of the stuff that they have dealing with clothing, dealing with their jewelry, to sit there and captivate the minds of us poor Jakes and Eves, it's given to them, man. It's given to them. They wear it for these pictures, and then when they're done with these pictures or there's certain music videos, they give it back. Just like a lot of these cars. So we can't sit there and have respect, see our own brothers and sisters, right, who are living wickedly, see what they have on and be like, well, you know what, I got to dress like that in order to be looked upon as success. No, you have success in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Like, this is nothing but sorcery. This is another way of sorcery. And when it's talking about that gay clothing, that goes into the word, pulled it up in the blue letter, lampros, right? Which says shining. And you see Balenciaga coats. They're real shiny with their bubble coats to try to stand out, to stand out when you see it, right? Brilliant, right? And the so-called white man, he thinks that this is brilliant. Like we brought out earlier, man, we used to see shoes and clothing like this, right? When we were coming up in Payless, Walmart, you get teased, right? And you got old Edomites that literally wear shoes like this that we're seeing right now when they become handicapped, when their foot becomes all swollen, right? And nasty, right? Hey, this is clear and transparent, man, that we are definitely living in the last days and this stuff is being revealed. So we got to separate from all manners of wickedness. Thus saith the Lord. You got it, King.
Yeah, let me go to the book of 2 Maccabees, because this is nothing new. Like we said, or like the Bible says, there is nothing new under the sun. Right? When you go to the time of the Grecians, this was the same spirit, man. Same spirit of Hellenized Israelites who wanted to follow and conform the ways of the so-called white man. And like I said, we're going to go deep into this, man. We're going to show you more than just the t-shirt. We're going to show you what they really stand for, what these words mean, why you should abstain from the world, come out of this facade of a life, man, aspiring to be like, who are these guys, man? Like the brother said, Birdman. I mean, Birdman is a well-known sodomite. I mean, well-known. Lil Wayne, Diddy. They had this thing on Drink Champs with Diddy, and he was flirting with all of the men.
God.
You saw that,
Con with had Fabulous on
had
there.
Fabulous on there, and they was real uncomfortable, man.
Right.
He was damn near pimping them out, man. Telling men blow out his birthday candles, flirting with them, saying I ain't never really celebrate with you. When me and you gonna celebrate? So these are well-known sodomites, man. They wear skirts. They deal with one another after God knows what, man. You know, this 2 Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 12, right? It reads, "For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young men under his subjection, and made them wear a hat." So the fashion of the Greeks prevailed in time past, and they made them wear a hat. That hat is like it's a Hermes hat, right? Hermes is a brand too. Jake wear Hermes. Hermes is a so-called Greek god, right? Equivalent to the modern day Mercury, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Now, if you look up, this is a Hermes hat, and they literally still have it to this day, right? Now, Hermes, if you look him up as a so-called Greek god, let's see if we can look him up. Hermes, Greek god. Let's pull it up. You see the hat he has on, right? Gotta deal with this, man. That's what Jake wear now. You might see a lot of old Jakes wear that, man. It may hit 35, 40. They start putting that on. Maybe young Jakes. Hermes was the ancient so-called Greek god of trade, wealth, luck, fertility, sleep, animal husbandry, language, thieves. He's the god of thieves. What type of nation has the god of thieves? And travel, right? So the Hermes hat is the hat you see right here. So when you read 2 Maccabees, the 4th chapter, when it says the so-called white man made us wear a hat, That's not a dark saying. It's not a parable. We were forced to wear Greek clothes, forced to submit ourselves to the Greek fashion. You couldn't wear your fringes, your long, beautiful garment, your mitri, right? You have to put that nasty toga on, chin strap, shave your beard all up, and put that nasty hat on, man. And you were forced to do this. And if you didn't do it, you were put to death.
God.
This is the Hermes hat. And you see what he has in his hand right there. Jacob had a Hermes hat on right at the hospital with the so-called white man. While your family told you good luck. People worship gods of the heathen and they don't even know it. Because you have been conditioned to well, really, they have normalized idolatry so much that everyday actions, you think they're normal, but you're really serving the spiritual demon Satan, man. So that's what 2 Maccabees chapter 4 is speaking about. Made them wear a hat. And he has a staff right here. This staff is called the staff of Asclepius. Because Asclepius was also the so-called Greek god of healing and medicine. That's why a lot of hospitals, you'll see them, Blue Cross, they'll have the Asclepius staff on them, which they really got from the scriptures to a certain extent when you read the book of Numbers, the 21st chapter, and turned it evil. Now I'm going to read on real quick. This 2 Maccabees chapter 4, and I'm going to jump down to verse 15. It reads, not settling by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. Right? Salaki, bear with me. No, I want verse 13. 2 Maccabees 4 and 13. Now such was the height of Greek fashions. It says, now such was the height of Greek fashions and increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. So the so-called white man set up an Israelite named Jason to do what? To pervert the nation. These are your modern day Jasons. Birdman, Lil Wayne, Diddy, Nas, Future, your rappers. These are your modern day Jasons, man, who willingly sold their soul to be like the so-called white man and were used as a puppet to bewitch the rest of Israel. You got it, King.
God. And that's what our people have been doing back then, and they're still doing it right now to this day, like the brother was going into. Our people love making a covenant with the heathen just for a pair of Balenciagas or Pradas or Gucci's, right? Or a stack of cash. When is this going to stop? This is why the Most High has to send these plagues, has to send the pestilence, has to send the famines, has to have nations going against nations, right? Rumors of wars, things being revealed to make sure, right, that righteousness is going to be set up in his kingdom. You think that you're going to have Balenciagas, right, and the so-called white man's name brand in the kingdom? No, it's not going to go down that way, man, right? I'm going to get the book of 1 Maccabees, right, to kind of go into second what you were saying. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, I'm going to start at verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. And this is what you're seeing right here, right? Even dealing with our own people who take pride into the so-called white man's clothing, right? Who take pride into the so-called white man's businesses, man, right? These are wicked men, right? And it says, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And that's all our people are doing. They're making a covenant with the heathen every single day. You have a new artist that's going to be signed tomorrow that's going to come out rocking the so-called white man's clothing, right? Tomorrow. Because they want to make a covenant with the heathen. Right? When that covenant was already established with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The moment we came out of our mother womb as an Israelite. So we have to understand that the images that our enemies put out dealing with our own people is set up as a trap. It is literally set up as a trap. And this is why these things are being revealed. I want to get this other precept real quick. I'm going to go to Psalms. right? Chapter 69, right? This is Psalms chapter 69. I'm going to start at verse 22. Let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. So you have our enemies that come out with these clothing, this gay clothing, right? And they literally, and when I say gay clothing, talking about, the definition dealing with shining, dealing with happy, right? They come out with these clothing lines and these clothing brands. They put it on our people, right? And it was set up purposely for them to make money, to make, a good welfare off of that. Because, if you're dealing with Jake and Eve, we are the highest consumers, man. We spend the most money. Here you just had damn Black Friday that just passed. And I'm led to believe, if you look at the statistics dealing with so-called Black Friday, we probably spend the most money as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. And we're spending it at, at places like Nordstrom's. We're spending it at these high-end stores, buying Balenciagas, buying Prada, right? Buying Gucci, things of that nature. Hey, but all praise to the Most High that our enemies, that now the stuff that they have set up has become a snare, right? And if you continue to further push the agenda and support these type of things, man, then it's going to be a snare unto you, right? Here you had all these Jakes and Eves spend all this money, probably got a closet full of Balenciagas, and now they feel ashamed to even wear it no more. Well, you could have used that money on something else, man.
Right.
These are things we got to realize, man. Go ahead, King.
Yeah. I mean, Jake, man, I want to know, like you said, I want to know that number of Jake spending money on Balenciaga. I saw somebody now they're burning it. I think it was an Eve. She took it out in the bag. She's burning it. The Most High is showing you carnally about these garments of these heathen that you can put on your true garment on a spiritual level. People are burning Nike. They're burning Adidas. They're burning Balenciaga. The Most High has you in a figure putting off your old garment, man, on a physical level. Now you got to put on your spiritual garment. You can't just burn all your worldly clothes and keep a worldly spirit. You got to not only abstain from the worldly appearance of these garments, but put on your spiritual garment, man, and let it be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Right? I want to get this precept real quick. Right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, since I kind of talked about it. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Slocky, bear with me. Right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 11. Right? It reads, I want 9 and 8, Slocky. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. And that's spiritual. The Most High wants you to get your spirit right. That doesn't mean go and see who has an all-white garment now. Because a lot of people may say, look, I'm not doing Balenciaga, I'll just do Louis Vuitton. What do you think these people, these CEOs, they sit at the same table and eat the same meat and drink the same blood and freak off under the sun? They're no different one than another, man. Well, I wear Tom Ford. I'm glad I don't wear Balenciaga. Well, I'm into Gucci, man. Gucci, y'all always wore Gucci. You never hear nothing about Gucci. Didn't Gucci say something not too long ago, King, about black people?
They did.
They made go ahead.
No, I forgot exactly what they said, but it was on the lines of, literally them exposing that they can't stand and that they hate, the so-called blacks.
Right. They made a coat. I believe it had like big Negro lips on it. And you have Floyd. I think Floyd Mayweather. Let me see if I can find that. So Salakia, real quick, see if it comes up. But then you have Floyd talking about where it's Gucci. Right, it is what it is. Yep. 2019, Gucci apologizes and removes sweater following blackface. So all of these people feel the same way about you, Jake. See if I look at this.
That's it.
Look at this. This is absolute madness. Right? Look at this one. Who's that? Beyonce? With a coon chicken jacket on. I mean, how low down and dirty can you get, man? Coon chicken. Look at this one. Look at this brother.
That's madness.
Think he's fly. Right? He'll spend his whole check on a blackface. Look at this one. Was that Montclair? I think Montclair had a coat like that.
You had a Wicked Eve. You had a Wicked Eve just recently. It's been going viral. That stole a couple of Montclair coats and got chased out of the store. And then you had a security guard. I want to say he was a Northern Kingdom that was trying to chase her down. And then you had Wicked Eve wanted these Montclair coats so much she had a getaway car, and then she putting hands on Jake, right? On the Issacharite brother. Damn near knocked him to the ground, went around the other side of the car, hopped in on the car, right? Like they just literally robbed the bank just for a Montclair coat.
Wow.
People go through the extents, man. They do the most when it comes to these high-end designers.
I mean, they rob, they kill, they commit adultery. Like I said, Jake, they'll buy a coat just to impress your woman and try to take your woman, man. We know Jake Eva do this, Eva wear this and just to show off in front of other sisters. They'll sit just to in a particular way just to show the red bottom of their damn heels, man. Jake could put a Montclair coat on in the damn summertime, man. Just saving up, and they gotta wear it. And like I said, look at this.
That's madness.
Look at this. Madness. So Gucci, Montclair, Adidas, Nike, now Balenciaga, Ralph Lauren. I think he told Nas to sing for me, boy. Nas, he told that story. Nas was on a yacht with a lot of these celebrities, and I think Tommy Hilfiger, one of these guys, they told Nas on a yacht. They said, "Look, well, are you going to sing? Or are you going to rap for us?" That's what he told him. Right, and we know what that means. Right? Why don't you be our entertainment, boy? Sing for us, boy. Dance for us, boy. Make us laugh. This is how these top-end CEOs, elites, designers feel about you, Jake. Like the brother said, you don't even want to put into your own people's pocket. During the time of Black Wall Street, they even say that $1, I think it took almost like 2 years for it to leave the community, man.
Wow.
The man that owned the barbershop, he spent it on the Jake who owned the grocery store. That brother who owned the grocery store spent it on the Jake who owned the movie theater. The brother who owned the movie theater spent it on the guy who owned the suits. And everybody kept the money in each other's pocket, man. And the so-called white man bombed the whole city for that, man. The first domestic dropping of bombs on U.S. soil was done against Israelites, man. And now, Jake, this is what you do. This is what you have become. They waged war against you to destroy you, and now we're destroyed and destroy each other to be like them. Absolute sickening. Sickening. Look at this.
Wow.
Right? You think this Edomite cares about you, Jake? This is mockery. Let me get this precept real quick. Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 30. Right? And it's going to get, like I said, it's going to get a lot more gruesome. We're just touching the surface right now. Because this stuff gets real dark, man. It gets real satanic and real damn vile. You know? Quick precept. This Job chapter 30 and verse 9. Dealing with the so-called white man. It reads, I'm going to start at 8. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Nobody is more vile and corrupt and decrepit and corrupt and wicked more than Esau. But here's what Job said. And now I am their song. I am their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me and spare not the spit in my face. So at one time, these heathen were living in caves, howling at the moon, scraping brain matter out of a skull and licking their fingers, cracking lice out their hair and eating it. Now Job said the tables have turned. And now we're the joke of the society. We're the song. We're a mocking. We're a laughing stock amongst these other nations, man. The Lord said they abhor me and they flee far from me and spare not to spit in my face. And this is them spitting in your face if you ever saw it. Look at this. One more. H&M, coolest, I remember that. Coolest monkey in the jungle.
Wow, I remember that too, King.
Yep. That was a few years ago, man. What else do you need to see? You got it, King.
And our people, you know, this is why this is just plain as day, man.
Right.
It's plain as day. It's plain upon tables. Why you can't put all your trust into the so-called white man. You're making a fool of yourself as an Israelite, right? Put your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? Again, like I was saying earlier, why not invest? If you're going to invest, why not invest into your own Israelite community? Because the so-called white man, he can't stand us, man. He wants us to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars for something that should only cost maybe about $20, $30, right? This is, I want to get this precept, right, to kind of double off what you were saying. This is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 14. I was a derision to all my people, and their song all the day. He had filled me with bitterness. He had made me drunken with wormwood, right? So if you want to continue to support our enemies, you're just drunk with the philosophies of the so-called white man. You're drunk with the ways of Babylon the Great, right? You're literally pushing the agenda of these modern day Egyptians. And we're nothing but rebellious children. When we're seeing this stuff manifest, and yet, this is just from what I've been seeing, right? As far as dealing with social media, you got a lot of Jakes, right? You got a lot of Israelites that are in this truth that have a problem with this being exposed, right? I've seen a lot of Jakes and he talk about why is nobody speaking about the Balenciaga situation. And all praise in the Most High that the Most High put the spirit on Brother Naquam, right, to go into this thing, because we need to speak on these matters, right? This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And we know this is talking spiritual, right? We need to be concerned about our spiritual covering, not that covering that's dealing with the outside appearance, right? Like Naquan was going into earlier, right? Verse 2, they walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Our people, they feel strong. They feel like they get confidence, man, when they're rocking this high-end clothes. Not realizing, man, that it all goes back to dark evil, which we're going to be bringing out later. All this stuff is controlled by evil. And it's the Most High who's the one who's doing this, man. Last I checked, he's the creator of good and evil, according to Isaiah 45 and 7, right? And then I'm going to get this last precept real quick, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 23. Bear with me. I want verse 13. Matter of fact, you got it, King. I'm going to save that one.
Yeah, and Lord willing, you find it through the Spirit. But like the brother said, we got to talk about this. Look at this. This is pure mockery. Pure mockery. Eyelashes. Right? What is this, man? The Lord is not dealing with this. Ears, lip. This is pure mockery, man. I got so much to say. I could barely get it out, man. I got a quick precept real quick in the book of Psalms, right? I mean, and I wanted to make a quick point. See, these Edomites know you, Jake. They study you. They even put out a somewhat of a documentary. Zamran, I'm not sure if you saw it, but it's called How to Sell to a Negro. So
I've heard of it.
Yeah, they actually have. You said what?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though.
They actually have an entire montage of clips from, I believe it's back in the 50s, maybe the 60s, on how to sell to the so-called black men in America.
Wow.
They study your habits. They know what you like. You like and it's in our spirit to like the best things. Right? We're Israelites, man. Right? Rows of gold and jewels in our mouth, chains of gold, crowns of gold that are 75 pounds. Right? We have things like that. Beautiful garments. So Esau knows that Jake likes in their spirit as a royal people upper end type of garments and clothes and jewelry, man. But they prey on your ignorance and your lack of knowledge of who you are. And they know that you have been completely manipulated and beguiled due to their white supremacy and Christianity, that they're going to take it. They are going to play on that, on what you like, but do it to destroy you, man. So they even have, like I said, they have movies on how to sell to a Negro. If you go and look that up, they have it down to a T. The Negro likes this. That's why your grandmother got that china cabinet that the so-called white man sold to her, man, that she never uses. Jake like to keep up with the Joneses. The so-called white man knows you, man. You got rooms. You got Jake with rooms in a house that you can't even go in. That's just the room with damn decor and decoration. You know? Damn expensive couch, table. Nobody can go in that room. You got stuff in there that nobody. It's just, Jake, you're just into vanity, man. Right? This Psalms chapter 80. Let me get a quick precept. Right? They know you. These nations know you, man. Right? They know you better than you know yourself. Psalms 80 and 6. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. See that? The Lord said, you make us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh amongst themselves. Jake, you go to the thrift store and the flea market to get fake Gucci, fake Louis, fake Montclair. You're going out of your way to get the fake designer clothes just to keep up with Jake. God. And the Esau. Look at this. You got it, King.
That's madness, man. Right? And it just makes us look bad. Let's just keep it real, man. Right? This Psalms 44 and 14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen. Right? Why do you think that our enemies, you know, they have all these different bywords for us, man? Right? They calling us so-called niggers, right? Calling us, you know what I'm saying, fried chicken lovers, watermelon eaters, right? All these different bywords. Why? A shaking of the head among the people. Right? When we sit there and we support the agenda of these wicked nations, man, they watch us walk into Nordstrom's, they walk into all these high-end stores, knowing damn well, right? You got a brother that walk into a store trying to buy Balenciaga that's living in a trailer, man, living in his car. Right? And then he got a lump sum of money and he wants to go buy Balenciaga. And then our enemy sitting there selling this to us, watches us give us their money, right? Knowing that we walking out broke and they just shaking their head. Right? When we support stuff like this, where you got this damn Moabite looking like Mickey Mouse, man, right? With swollen lips, right? Looking like damn Tom Cruise, man, from Vanilla Sky. It's just a shaking of the head amongst the people, man. Right? We become an SMH, like what you type in a text message, man. This is nothing but madness, man. And what is the purpose of this? You really think that Esau created this turtleneck, man, to go up to your nose, to keep your nose and your neck warm and your cheeks warm? Man, right? They purposely took scissors and cut out where the lips are at and made sure that they put red to signify, right, as us having big lips. Because we know for having big lips, right? And this is nothing but mockery like the brother was going into, right? And we sit there and we support this, man. We got to understand, right, that the Most High created us to be better than all nations. And we got to start acting like it, man. And taking pride, right, in how the Most High created us to be by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right, I'm going to get this other precept real quick. All right, let me go to 1 Thessalonians real quick. Let me go to 1 Thessalonians. Bear with me. All right, and I want First Thessalonians chapter 5. All right, verse 22. Bear with me, King. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22, and it says, abstain from all appearance of evil, playing upon tables. We have to abstain from all appearance of evil. This is an appearance of evil, man. Right? This is what our enemies want us to do, man, so that we can further push their agenda. The further and further we keep pushing their agenda, man, the more destroyed we're going to be as a nation of people. And we're already destroyed mentally. So all praise in the Most High that these things are being revealed in these last days to help us abstain from evil. We do understand that we are in captivity and that we have to go to our enemies for everything. But we also have to be circumspect. We have to be wise as a serpent, yet harmless as a dove. But key word, be wise, man. Is it wise for you to sit there, you want a t-shirt, when you know you can go to Walmart and get a pack of t-shirts, man, that come with like 8 for like $10?
Assortment pack.
One t-shirt.
Right.
With this there, man. With the so-called blackface on there, man. Madness, man. You got it, King.
Hey, real quick, man. Yeah. Jacob bought this and put black and red fringes on it. You know? They'll put half black fringes on it, half red fringes. And a lot of times, Jake, you're going into Montclair, Balenciaga, or wherever these stores are, Neiman Marcus, YSL, and you're being followed, man. They don't even want you half the time in there. They just want to rob you, man. Like a brother said on the comment board, they got on Oprah, man. Oprah went to, I can't remember what store she went to, but she was in some mall. I think she was overseas. I'm gonna have to go back into it and get the details. But Oprah's allegedly is the so-called richest so-called black woman ever, man. And they looked at Oprah like she was LaToya from the south side of Chicago, man. Or from damn I don't know, LA somewhere, man. Crenshaw. Following her, looking at her, acting like we know what it is. They act like they fixing the clothes while you shopping, looking at you, talking in that earpiece, man. When it's time to search the bag, you've been randomly selected to get your bag searched. Right? They got Oprah like that, man. They get all you Jakes like that. You know? So this is a big deal, man. Now, when we go into it, let's see where I want to touch on first. All right, what can we touch on? Okay, Salaki, bear with us because it's a lot we want to get into. All right. So this is the chief designer, right? The chief designer for Balenciaga, Lada Volkova, right? This is their chief designer. And look what they're into.
Wow.
Right? Now you can say, well, what scripture, how is that going off? Right? This is boy, man, like I said, we got to even get our words together. She's dressed in all red, how the world portrays the spiritual demon Satan to be. Red hair, drenched in baby blood with baby dolls. Now, if you're going to sell a sweater, sell a sweater. You know, put a tag on it. If it's $200, it's $200. If it's $400, it's $400. But if you're going to advertise it, why do you have to take 2 babies, put them in so-called blood with no clothes on, and then sell them? Now, this is their chief designer. Let me get this quick precept real quick. Right, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Right, chapter 7. Their chief designer. And what do you think she's into, man? Right, a plethora of things. It's not in Jake's spirit to do this, man. You know, Jake could do a lot, but they may get into this. But this is really an Edomite thing, man. You know, this is the woman designing all your clothes, Jake, more than likely into like I said, boy loving, little kid loving. We want to put these words out there, right? Little kid loving, CP, trafficking, feast of blood, cannibalism, lewd intercourse with infants. You had Epstein Island, and all of these guys, these top celebrities, they was going to Epstein Island, man, and freaking off. World leaders, politicians, high-end celebrities, doctors, talk show hosts, sports analysts, Grammy award-winning artists, Golden Globe celebrities, red carpet, walk of fame, if you get the drift. They were all freaking off, man. Right? This is Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 27. It reads, "Behold, this have I found, said the preacher." Now the preacher is Solomon, counting one by one to find out the account. So that's when you take a poll or a survey. You count one by one, right? You tally it up. "Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions." So the Most High made man upright. Man has the ability, as much as they can in his flesh, to keep the commandments, man, to be obedient, to serve the Most High. But it says they have sought out many inventions, meaning what in modern terms? Man is going to do what the hell they want to do. That's what they're going to do, what they want to do. They're driven to lust. That's why when you look that word at Balenciaga, I believe it means
Baal is king.
Yeah, but all is king. In other translations, it said do what you want. So some translations, I believe in the Latin, it said I had it right here. But all is king. And another one, and Baal is the top idol of the Canaanites. And the Canaanites, amongst all nations, was the highest into witchcraft and sorcery. When you read the scriptures. So they say, but all is the king. You got it, king.
Con. And when you're dealing, like the brother was talking about, dealing with these Canaanites, dealing with Baal, right? I'm going to pull out Jeremiah 23. I'm going to start at verse 13. "And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err." So again, when you're supporting our enemies and you're supporting clothing brands like this, it's like you're supporting these wicked Egyptians, these wicked Canaanites, man, right? Who do nothing but sacrifice children, do all types of abominable rituals, and even dealing with a lot of these. When you're dealing with a lot of these celebrities, and they're performing, you'll see the stage. Sometimes the stage is set up as a ritual,
right?
And then they're inside. They're in the stage, literally in the middle of the stage, where it's like they're in a ritual circle.
Yep. And
they're dressed up in things of this nature, man. Right? And why does Esau, like the brother was saying, why does Esau have to sit there and try to promote their clothing brand with this type of wickedness? Because when you look at the scriptures, you go back to the milk, man. Right? They were created to be the most profane. This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." So the Most High says that they are the most profane. So when you're thinking with that spiritual eye, this type of stuff should not even surprise you, because they're all out profane, unholy. There is nothing holy about them, man. They take pleasure in these type of things. Looks like they literally dip them Edomite babies, man, like the brother said, in blood, man. Right? And trying to sell them like damn candy apples, man, or bobbing for apples. Right? This is I'm gonna get one more precept real quick, King. This is Ephesians. This is Ephesians chapter 5. I want to start at verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. So we're bringing out this information. We're exposing our enemies and what they're really about to reprove our people. Because you are not to partake in anything that is associated with evil, associated with unrighteousness. This is associated with evil, man. Look at this, man. Right? And then look at the Edomite over there to the right, man. How evil is that?
And what is she eating?
Exactly. Zoom in on that.
Yeah, that's about as far as I can go.
I don't know, King. It looks like some type of animal. I'm gonna be real with you. Some type of might be a fried cockroach, man.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Come on.
So yeah.
But you got it, King.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, this is what your enemy's into, right? The Most High said in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, then shall that wicked be revealed, right? What is she eating? What could this be? I wanted to kind of get the scripture. I'm gonna still get it, but my mind is still fixated on what could this be, right? It could be maybe is it a shrimp, right? Maybe it's what is it? You know, for somebody to look like this, they're not eating what me and you eat. She's not eating lamb. She doesn't delight in lamb, right? Maybe like some mac and some sweet potatoes, or they don't want it. They're not eating what we eat. It's not venison. You can say, well, that's just a piece of fish, right? Not this type of individual, right? Now I want to get this precept real quick, man. Like a lot of these people, like they're into cannibalism, secret ceremonies, right? Let me get this in boy, man, there's so many scriptures we could think of through the Spirit, Lord willing, but I want to get this first and foremost in 2 Thessalonians, right? One of my favorite precepts in these last days. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. It reads, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So one of the major prophecies, along with us waking up, is simultaneously the wicked are going to be revealed. Who the devil is, who the enemy is, who has robbed our nationality, robbed our heritage, stolen our identity, who practice secret ceremonies and feast of blood and strange rites and rituals behind closed doors, man. It's all going to come to light. That's one of the first precepts we brought out through the Spirit and power of the Most High and the Son Yahushua, is that these things are going to be brought on the forefront. It's on Main Street. It's in the light. It's public. Verse 9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Tell me this isn't after the working of Satan, right? This is after the working of Satan, right? And when you go into this, like I said, let me pull up. I had another one. Okay, they're burning it right there, but I was just going through it. Oh, here's another one. I'm not sure if you saw this one, King.
Con.
Yeah, so I'm not going to zoom in, but for brothers that saw it, you know what it is. If you didn't see it, on one of the ads for Balenciaga, they had one of their handbags or purse or whatever you call it, but it was on top of a few sheets of paper, right? It was on top of a few sheets. Now Esau, they probably watching this, get mad. They keep talking about it. Well, we're going to keep talking about it, man. Right? We're not going to hold our peace. Underneath one of these handbags was a document, right? Now, the document, I'm not going to use the words that we want to use for wisdom's sake, but, we'll abbreviate it. And you'll have to pick up what we putting down. Underneath one of these documents, and they didn't do this by accident. when you put an advertisement together, marketers think of everything. They take everything into account. Certain color schemes. You said what, King?
No, just agreeing with you, Con.
Yeah, they take everything into account, right? They take color schemes, lighting, maybe the room, they the particular camera lens. There is nothing that goes missing, especially for a high-end brand like Balenciaga. They're not just some run-in-the-mill upstart company. So how this is put at like a 45-degree angle, that was all through design. The papers out there, like somebody was working, and maybe they did all that by design. There's a document with print on it that you see under this. Now, when you read this document, like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, right? But just know that they're promoting one of the most wicked, abominable, lewd, profane, ungodly, heinous, abominable acts that can be done under the sun, man. You know? CP, straight up and down, man. Promoting it, trying to legalize it, make it subliminal. It's right in your face, but Jake isn't looking at that. They're looking at how they can match that. Eve is looking how they can match that with their dress or their Prada shoes or their weave and eyelashes. But they pulled this out, man. The Most High is putting the spirit on people to pull that out. The jig is up. The jig is up. This is a document promoting abominable behavior, pedestry, right? Like I said, we got to, when you're dealing with this type of situation, this is a sticky situation. We got to make sure we use our words correctly, man.
Con.
You got it, King.
Con. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 27. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? And a lot of this stuff, we got to realize when you're dealing with the wicked and their inventions, right? Their clothing, even dealing with a lot of the music that they're putting out. Hey, they have these things be done in ritual sacrifice before they actually release it.
Right.
Even dealing with a lot of the color schemes, right? Goes like this color scheme right here, dealing with the black and the white. That's one of the main color schemes dealing with Salakia. What's the word?
Freemasonry.
Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Right. They do these things for a reason, because they throw it at our face to make us as Jakes and Eves, right, and make us as Israelites to look at this and just think that it's normal. And this has been going on for quite some time, to the point that we're trying to warn our people of these things, and yet our people are still stiff-necked, man. Right? And even going back, dealing with that picture, man, dealing with that Edomite lady and those babies, man. Right? That's another form of sacrifice. Right? And dealing with the wicked, they love offering sacrifices dealing with children, man. When we are instructed in the law, right? I'm gonna get this out real quick. This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am Yahweh. So this is why Esau is known as the most profane person, like spoken in Hebrews. Right? This is profaning the Most High God. And we got to think about this, Israel, that if our chief enemy is profaning the Most High God every single day, that should make us not support them anymore, man. This is why we have to bring the pride in. I got on Balenciagas, and guess what? My kids got on Balenciagas. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My whole household clean. Right? Because all this stuff goes back is to these Edomites literally passing their seed through the fire. And that's an example of that right there, man. Right? Offering sacrifices unto Molech, unto Baal. Right? So we got to really separate from the ways of the heathen, like instructed in Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2 on down. You got it, King.
Con. And, these guys are exposing it, right? They're exposing the satanic works that are going on behind the scenes, right? The different rituals. We're not going to play them all, But we're gonna still bring up some things, man. Now I want to play this clip from this. This was posted, right? Now check this out. See if this plays. If not, we'll just go in the spirit. Like I said, a lot of these rappers hang out with warlocks, man. There was a clip. Let me see if this plays.
There it is. Look at that picture.
You looking at this? This is Migos, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure who's who, right? But they're hanging around. You said what?
You got Quavo in the middle, Offset on the left, and then the brother that just passed, Takeoff all the way to the right. That's kind of cropped out of the picture. And then you have an evil, I forgot the name of this fashion designer, right? But this is an actual fashion designer that's an actual witch.
Con. And they hang around them, huh? You thinking that this is something that we're making up. Like I said, maybe these guys, they're thinking we're conspiracy theorists or what we're doing. This is a real deal, man. These rappers, these celebrities, they get into this thing.
He goes with Rick Owens and his wife. As you can see, Rick Owens' wife is doing the as above, so below sign that you see here on the satanic statue of the Baphomet.
You see that right there? Hold on, I'm gonna go back. Brothers might have missed that. You see her hands right there? That's the Baphomet thing the brother just brought up. I didn't see it because I didn't see that second hand on it, but that's what she's doing, man. Basically, I got you Negroes into my trap. And really, that as beloved, so below, that's that satanic mantra and ritual. That's what the word Balenciaga means. And some certain translations, it does say, do what you want, and others say, but all is king. And really, if you say, but all is king, that means essentially you can still do what you want. And you can freak off. Right? So let's put this on. For everybody that wears Balenciaga, you don't believe in the Most High God. Just straight up and down. Because you're saying that these heathens are your king and you can do what you want to do. I don't care if you go to church on Sunday with Pastor so-and-so, Johnson, man, and Reverend Williams. If you wear it, you don't believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Even if you're a Christian, you're not a Christian. Let's play this.
Migos with Rick Owens and his wife. As you can see, Rick Owens' wife is doing the as above, so below sign that you see here on the satanic statue of the Baphomet.
And at this satanic Baphomet statue, it's an Edomite woman and it's a young Jake boy, if I'm not mistaken. But brothers that didn't see this, I can't remember exactly where it's at, but it's a brother with woolly hair on the left-hand side of the spiritual demon Satan. And I believe that's an Edomite girl on the right-hand side of Baphomet. And that's what the woman was holding up, huh? With a large pentagram behind the background. So like when the brother said this is sorcery, we always say you don't have to be a witch with gray hair in a big black cauldron with frogs in it and human hair and snails to be a witch, man. Flying on a broomstick. You could be on the Grammy Awards and be a witch, right? You can be on the Golden Globes and be a witch. The music videos and be a witch. Behind the scenes, a designer and be a witch. So witchcraft is more in your face than you actually think, man. Witchcraft, like I said, it's a very deep spirit that's running prevalent in Babylon the Great. Let me get this quick precept on that real quick. Then I'm going to play the rest of this. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 4. Right? Let's go to the book of Nahum. Nahum, chapter 3 and 4. It reads, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. So the Most High said that the well-favored harlot is selling nations through her witchcrafts, man. Giving them over to the spiritual demon Satan through subliminal messages, predictive programming, right? Straight up wizardry. The well-favored harlot that versus America. They're the well-favored harlot. Everybody's attracted to the lifestyle of America and the so-called white man. And entire families. Like the brother said, you got Jake saying, me and my family good. We clean. I got Balenciaga on. My newborn got it on. The new damn onesie. My daughter got Balenciaga on. That whole family has been sold into witchcraft. But what did the Most High say in Nahum 3:5? Behold, I am against thee, said the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And the Most High setting the so-called white man as a gazing stock right now. Everybody's looking at the demonic actions of Esau, at Amalek, right? At these designers, rappers, celebrities. The Most High is making them a gazing stock in the eyes of the world. Chiefly that the Israelites can see this and turn away from vanities and serve the Most High God, man. Let me play a little of this.
For men. Here's another photo of Rick Owens and his wife. Here's from Vogue, Rick Owens Menswear 2020. This is from the same Balenciaga campaign that had the BDSM teddy bears that the children were holding. You can see.
You see that? They got Balenciaga sex tape for the kids.
Caution tape with Balenciaga spelled with 2 A's, which is the.
You see that? Hey, this brother breaking it down. It has but all on there straight up and down, man. You can't get no more plainer than that.
You can see caution tape with Balenciaga spelled with 2 A's.
So how are we getting around that? For everybody that's a conspiracy theory and you guys are too far-fetched, you're making that up. Explain that one, right? Explain that one. But that's not a typo. You say, well, that's a typo. They kind of put the extra A in there. They was moving too fast. And no, they wasn't moving too fast. They put it right in your face, man, that they can advertise to the right people. See, the right people are going to see this. When I say the right people, demonic people, they have an eye for evil, like you have an eye for righteousness. You have a keen spirit that gravitates you to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You may notice a menorah. You may notice a chariot. Esau's noticing Baal, little children. We have different spirits, man. 2 manner of people, right? So this is what Esau, they know Esau, he that triggers him, man. He has an eye of evil. So they put it in Esau's face to, and really Jake's face to seduce you. But really it's for Esau, man. So they can say, okay, this is where we can get little boys. Right? That's new. Because that's what they know what they're into. They're really because Jake really isn't into that, but Esau's into that. They're into buying little kids. So they have to kind of put it out there in a way so these elite Edomites can say, okay, that's one of our guys right there. Right? If we want little kids, we know who to go to. That's why they're doing it. You know? If you want to say something, King, you can. If not, we can play it.
Yeah, just real quick, man. This is Psalms 36, verses 1 through 2. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. And we're seeing his iniquity literally being found right now in front of our eyes to be hateful. Right? This is nothing but hateful that we're seeing, man, towards children, right? Even towards us as the nation of Israel, man. Right? These are things we got to realize, right? They don't fear the Most High God, the wicked. Like the brother said, they literally have it right in front of your face. B-A-A-L. Balenciaga, right? Letting you know that they have an allegiance, right? They're letting you know that their allegiance goes back to the wicked demon Satan, goes back to these wicked idols, right, of the Canaanites. So we can't be blinded by these things, man. And as a Jake, man, you know what I'm saying? You got Jake, again, like I was saying earlier, you got Jake that's upset that this is being revealed and that he can't wear his Balenciagas no more.
Yeah.
Now that when he puts on his tennis shoes or Balenciagas, right, he gonna try to go holler at a female, and the female gonna look at him crazy like, oh, you one of those, right? And it's no use. This is Psalms 37. I'm gonna let you go. This is Psalms 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So you can't be upset that this is being exposed, man. Right? This is nothing but works of evildoers. Right? We should take joy in the fact that this is being exposed, that now our people have this information. Every single day there's going to be something else that's going to come up, which is why it's our job as men of the Lord to be that watchman to let you guys know that this is evil, man, and to separate from all manners of wickedness and worry about that spiritual clothing in these last days and stop worrying about your outward appearance, because that's what our enemies want us to do, is worry about our outward appearance, right? These are things that we have to realize, man. Take pleasure in the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and you're going to find yourself saving a lot of money, man, right, in these last days, man, right? That's it, King. You got it. You got it.
And you know, that reminds me of that Gehazi spirit, because Gehazi had that covetous spirit, and that's that spirit that Jake has, right? This is in 2 Kings. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but Naaman the Syrian had leprosy. He went to Elisha the prophet to be healed of the leprosy. Elisha told him, wash yourself in the Jordan River 7 times. He got mad and he said, I'd rather wash myself in the rivers of my land. His servants rebuked him, said, just do it. He went to wash himself in the Jordan River. He was cleansed of his leprosy. He proceeded to give Elisha garments and clothes of his God and the heathens. Elisha said, I don't want that. Gehazi, which is the servant of Elisha, proceeded to go in a covetous spirit to chase Naaman the Syrian down and take the heathen garments, right? 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 20. But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of God, said, behold, my master hath spared Naaman the Syrian, and not receiving at his hands that which he brought. But as the Lord liveth, I will run after him and take somewhat of him. And that's the spirit that Jake has, man. You're not supposed to covet the heathen gifts and clothes and things of that nature. But this man said, as the Lord liveth, I'm going to be like these heathen, man. I'm going to take these damn clothes. Ain't nobody going to stop me, man. I don't care what Elisha talking about. I want them clothes. A lot of brothers are going to die like this, man. Let's read on. Verse 21. 2 Kings 5 and 21. So Gehazi followed after Naaman. And when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, is all well? And he said, all is well. My master hath sent me, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. So he lied, man, to get these 2 outfits from this heathen. And Naaman said, be content, take 2 talents. And he urged them and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags with 2 changes of garments and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. So he ended up taking the clothes from the heathen. When the man of God, Elisha, said, do not covet these heathen and their works and their clothes. I don't want it. It's not a time for it right now. He said, I'm going to do it anyway. Verse 25. But it's like the 2 Kings 5 and 25. But he went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said unto him, whence comest thou, Gehazi? And he said, thy servant went no whither. So he lied 3 times. And he said unto him, went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep and oxen, and men servants and maid servants. All right, is it time to be chasing the so-called white man's designer clothes? Is it time to spend all your money on Balenciaga, Prada, Louis, True Religion, damn YSL, Alicia Tokahashi? Is it time for this, man? Right? Verse 27. Here's his judgment. The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence, a leper as white as snow. So he got leprosy, man, and he died a leper for being covetous, man. For following the heathen, like Zambron said, people are mad right now. And Jake is mad. Because now the society is against Balenciaga. They're not against it, but society is against it. And now they got to get rid of their Balenciaga. They can't wear it. They mad. They wasted their money. Hey, you got to deal with it, man. You got to deal with it. Now, if you want to wear it and put it on, hey, the Most High is going to get up with you, man. It's more than clothes. Strange apparel. That's Zephaniah 1:8, man. You have the spirit of Achan in the book of Joshua, chapter 7, who coveted the Babylonian garment, man, and troubled the camp of Israel. Right in your face, the tape says Baal. Let me play the rest of this. I'm going to rewind it a little bit.
Same Balenciaga campaign that had the BDSM teddy bears that the children were holding. You can see caution tape with Balenciaga spelled with 2 A's, which is the deity Bel from the Bible, in which children were given as sacrifice.
And we're going to cover Baal. We're going to go into Baal. Right? We're going to show you who Baal is, go into it, and show you who the world really worships. Lord willing.
This deity. Another Balenciaga campaign shows a child with a balloon string wrapped around their neck. And if you remember the book that was in a Balenciaga ad that showcased an artist who made art playing with chopped off hands and feet in blood. Here's some more art from that same artist. Look at this demonic garbage. From the new Santa Claus show on Disney, says, "We love you, Satan." Now check out this video from a Balenciaga campaign. What's in your bag? In my bag? Excuse me. Like honey.
So that brothers and see that Balenciaga bag came with child lover accessories. And I believe the baby was covered in blood. And it came with a pacifier, maybe a bear. It's nothing but for creeps who want to destroy children, man. You see that?
Like Kanye said, do not look up to these celebrities. None of these celebrities are calling out Balenciaga. None of them. None of the rappers, actors are calling out this demonic garbage we are seeing. Whether you believe in God or not, whether you believe in the devil.
So he kind of going into it, right? But he showed you, man. Right? He showed you. They're into all manner of sorcery. You saw that advertisement. Look at one of their ads. I'm going to go back a little bit. Salaki, King. Let me go back a little bit. Because, brothers, you may have overseen it. I mean, overlooked it. It may have been an oversight. They have it divided into 4 different pictures, and they're clearly showing you that one of these ads has a ritual going on. All right, let me see if I can go back. If I can't go back, that's fine. But, you know, this is playing upon tables, showing you to separate from the world. Right, I'll let that kind of get itself together, but you got it, King.
Con. This is Luke chapter 12, start at verse 15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. You literally have to covet something like this, man, right? To want to buy a product like this, that cost outrageous, or what, you know what I'm saying, what they say in New Orleans, buku dollars, man. Right? You wouldn't spend this much money on your own household. You know, you got our own people, they won't even pay their electric bill, their water bill, right? But they'll sit there and they'll take all their money and purchase things like this, man. A damn purse with a baby in it filled with blood, man, right? With child accessories. That's what our people are into. That's what these heathens are into. Whatever these heathens are into, our people are into. Why? Because they see the lifestyle of these heathens and they envy it, right? Didn't the Lord say, let me bring this out, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Our people are too busy being envious of our oppressors. And these are the perilous times that we're living in, which is spoken about in I believe 2 Timothy and 3 on down.
Come.
And we have to realize these things through the precepts, man, that it's time for us to completely separate from the heathen. That means all not only of their ways, of their thinking, but even dealing with their businesses, man. Right? What if it's us as so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? If we just decided not to spend $1, 1 cent for a whole day, hey, man, this whole country is going to be in shambles, man. Worse than what it already is. So you're seeing the wickedness that's literally being revealed to us. But again, our people, they just envy these things, man, because they covet after this stuff. Basically, from what they've seen from these celebrities dealing with their own people. You know, our people, we living in the slums. It seems like, you know, our people that don't know who they truly are as an Israelite, they feel like they have no hope. When our people don't realize that there is hope in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So when they see these celebrities like Offset, right, like damn Quavo, right, and Takeoff, man, who was just cut down in the land of the living, taking pictures, right, with this wicked Edomite dressed up like Kirby from damn Nintendo, man, right, throwing up ball. They look at that and be like, man, look at how they dressed. Look at that Balenciaga coat he got on. Oh, look at them shades he got on. Oh, he looks well, like he doing well for himself. Oh, this is what I got to do, man, to achieve, you know what I'm saying, greatness. And all you're doing is just literally falling right in line with the agenda that the so-called white man wants us to fall in line with, man. But you got it, King.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful points, man. And like I said, I want to play a little bit of this clip. See if it plays. Like I said, if not, you can check it out on your own. But they clearly show you a bag with a little child drenched in. And what's fashionable about that? Right? What's fashionable, Salakia, about having a child drenched in blood inside of a bag with baby accessories? What adult in their right mind is going to deal with that, man? But remember, these clothes was not initially made for you, Jake. They were initially made for people like this on the screen. It's like a click. It's like an inside thing. Like when brothers make companies like Chosen Wear and stuff like that for fringes, it's not to be sold to the Moabite man. It's not for the Ishmaelite man or the Ammonite. That's for Israel. These Edomites made that strictly for them, but then Jake got word of it. That's the new big thing. That's the most expensive thing. I gotta have it. Covetousness is going to kill a lot of men, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 16. Damn baby accessories, man.
Madness.
Drenched in blood. This is Luke chapter 16 and verse 15. Right? It reads, and he said unto them, I'm going to start at 14. Luke 6 and 14. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. So they got mad at Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai was calling it like it was, man, and told him you can't serve God and Mammon. Right? I'm going to play this too. Right? Verse 15. And he said unto them, yea, are they which justify yourselves before men, but the Most High knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God. So you have men that justify themselves before men. Well, I'm gonna just put it on. I already bought it. I ain't gonna buy that and not wear it. I spent a whole bunch of money on this. We know you, Jake, man. Man, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing, man. Well, I don't care about that. I don't worship that. I'm just clothes. You're still gonna justify yourself before men, but the Most High is in your spirit, man. The Lord said that which is highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the sight of God. I mean, what's highly esteemed amongst men? The world, fashion, designer clothes, lucrative contracts, celebrity endorsements, multi-million-dollar mansions, a plethora of women and cars and things of the world. Man, these are the things that man puts on a high level. What does the Most High put on a high level? Faith, wisdom, knowledge, understanding. The Most High said, let not the rich man glory in his riches, man, or the wise man in his wisdom, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he knoweth me, man. That's in the book of Jeremiah, the 9th chapter. The Most High wants you to glory in him. And the Psalms, it says, in the Most High we boast all the day long. We boast in glory in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. Don't bring that spirit into this truth, man. Like the brother brought out in Sirach 11:4. That covetous clothes, gotta have this, gotta have that spirit, man. And if the Most High give you, and he give you. If the Most High take away, he take away, man. But blessed be the name of the Lord. Now I'm gonna play this. This says cancel celebrity worship. Check this out. Right? They keep showing this, but because it is what it is. All right, let me get this to play. That's her with ASAP Rocky. That same witch.
This is one of the chief witches.
For Kim Kardashian. You see that? That's the advertisements.
This goes to show you that a lot of your favorite celebrities are in alignment with the elite satanic group of people ruling the world. If this doesn't change your mind,
and we've been said that, right? We've been said that, man. Right? A lot of these celebrities, these elites,
celebrity worship,
nothing
will.
They're into this thing, man.
So many people will see all these posts.
They just showed a whole advertisement of people down there dancing in blood, man. Hold on, what else did I have? Hold on. And this is trending, man. Balenciaga is trending, right? Let me see. Balenciaga. I had something else pulled up. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. You got it real quick.
All right. Let me pull this preset real quick. Let me get the book of. I want the book of Micah. Let me get the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Bear with me. All right. Let's get the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, this is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Right? So the Most High says destruction to these evil Edomites who have done nothing but work evil upon their beds. They wake up in the morning and the first thing they're thinking about is, how can I promote this Balenciaga brand today to captivate the minds and the eyes, you know what I'm saying, and the attention of not only us as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but the rest of these wicked nations. Because you got a lot of these other wicked nations that are drunk with the wine of Babylon the Great, man. Right? And when the morning is light, they practice it. Right? Like the scripture says, because it is in the power of their hand. Right? This is why it's our job as men of the Lord to let you guys know that we got to come out of the ways of Babylon the Great. Because 2/3 of our people are going to be consumed. by Balenciaga, consumed by Gucci, consumed by the look that Esau has put out to make it seem like if you have this look, then you that dude, man, right? Or you that chick. Hey, we got to come out of these wicked ways, man, right? Because they're practicing these things every single day, man. Yes, Balenciaga, hey, it's getting exposed, right? What's the next major high-end clothing brand is going to be exposed? They're just going to keep on being exposed and more exposed, man. So we have to put ourselves in the mindset spiritually to discern, like the brother Naquan was bringing out earlier, man, we can't be sitting there putting all our hopes, you know what I'm saying, and aspirations in trying to dress in the so-called white man's, you know what I'm saying, high-end clothing, man, thinking that we somebody when we're living in the last days. And all this stuff is going to end up being destroyed, end up being, you know what I'm saying, revealed. Come on, man. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm going to have this pulled up, but like the brother said, man, this is the Most High revealing the wicked. So brothers can understand how, like the Lord said, let me get this in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, as I pull this up, right? The Lord speaks about the depths of Satan, right? He speaks about how deep, you know, this thing goes, man. This Revelation chapter 2 and verse 24. You see how Shah speaking, right? It reads, Salaki, Revelation 2 and 24. But unto you I say, and unto the rest in Thyatira, as many as have not known this doctrine, and which have not known the depths of Satan, as they speak, I will put upon you none of the burden. So Yahweh Shah speaks about the depths of Satan, right? He's speaking about how wicked and corrupt this society is, man. So brothers have to understand. Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in on this. Let me show this on the screen. Right, let me play this. Brothers have to understand, right, where we living at, man. Right? You had a brother that was shot dead over some Balenciaga sneakers by 2 fellow Israelites. That's what Jake is doing, man. You're shooting your brother dead, right? Augustus Sirleaf, 19, was charged this week with 2nd-degree murder after 17-year-old Yassine Johnson was found with multiple fatal gunshots, man. All right, so this is the sad plight of our people, man. Robbing and killing to wear clothes from demonic homosexual Edomites. And that man's life is going in prison, right? They may try him as an adult. And yeah, he's 19, right? So he's done, right? He's done, man. Killed his brother over demonic so-called white man clothes. Now, I wasn't able to show this on the screen, but I'm gonna have to show it off the phone, right? For some reason, I wasn't able to show this. Let me see if I can.
Let me get this precept real quick, King.
Go ahead, King.
Right, just a second on what you just showed, man. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, the classic. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right, you're being ignorant when you're shooting your own brother, man, right, for clothing that you don't even own. Right, you got to understand that, you know what I'm saying, all these are nothing but devices of Satan. They have our people literally sign their souls. They give them all the money. They showcase this stuff on BET, on MTV, right, on the television screens, right, on YouTube with their music videos, knowing that our people are poor, right? And then our people see these things, and then they're captivated to it, to the point that they do whatever they got to do, man, to get that, to the point where they shoot their own brother down, right? This is a device, right, that's ran by Satan, man, right? Just like music has spirits, clothing has spirits too as well,
right?
And when you're dealing with music and with clothing, these stuff play hand in hand with each other, man. But you got it, King.
Yeah, and I want to show this. That's absolutely right, man. Clothes will put a spirit on you, man. Right? Now, this is from the Instagram I believe, of the designer of Balenciaga or one of those Edomites. Now, like I said, I got to show it like this. Or I believe this is from Adidas or Balenciaga. One of these women, right, that are into this top high-end fashion. Look at that child with the skull. You have a child being forced to watch God knows what. And if you look clearly in the background of this laptop, there are men watching.
Wow.
You have a child on a satanic pentagram. People wrapped up in God knows in mask of freakism. This is what you are wearing, man. This is what you're into. Child sacrifice, outright witchcraft, sorcery, demonic forces on a high level, man. On a very, very high level. Right? What does this have to do with anything? Why would you have a child with a skull? You know? Two men, maybe two women bound it up. You know? A child being tied up, forced to watch God knows what. And, this might be one of the worst ones right here, man. Whatever this is. Let's go to the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. All right, let me get a quick precept on that. All right, let's go to the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. Oh, I just got word from the brother Amaziah. Said that's the same lady who had the bloody babies on it. That's her Instagram page.
Wow.
The lady we showed you with the bloody babies, that was some of her finest work, according to her, man. This kid has shoes on with the spiritual demon Satan on it, man. Or how the world portrays Satan to be. And, his life is in shambles. And he'll never be the same, man. Let me get this precept in the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? The 12th chapter. Let's dive into it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 3. It reads, "For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land." So it was the will of the Most High to use the Israelites to destroy the Canaanites. Why? Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices. So the Israelites colonizing the land of Canaan in righteousness is not because the Israelites were righteous. It's because the Canaanites were wicked, man. They were doing odious works of witchcrafts. Same thing that you see going on right now. Exact same thing. The Girgashites, the Perizzites, the Ammonites, Hivites, Hittites. Verse 5. And also those merciless murderers of children. I'm going to read that again. And remember, the Canaanites, they served who? They served Baal. Right? Where is it at? They served Baal. A so-called Canaanite. I had something else pulled up. A so-called Canaanite god, man. Of the heathen. See if I can pull this up. Right? We're going to pull it up. Right? He was a so-called god worshipped by the Canaanites. Look at this. From Canaan, worship of Baal spread to Egypt by the Middle Kingdom and throughout the Mediterranean, following the waves of Phoenician colonization. So when the Canaanites started coming into power, their ideology and philosophies spread throughout the Mesopotamian region and parts of the land of Ham. And that's where it really started. It started in the land of Canaan. So Balenciaga, or Baal is king, it goes back to the heathen who we had to kill for doing the same thing they're doing now. So think about that, Jake. The same clothes that you're wearing now in the ancient world, you were supposed to kill those people who made those things, man, and serve those things. That's how far we fell. You fell from loving these heathen and killing your brother to put on clothes when in the ancient world you were commanded by the Lord to kill the heathen, man, and burn those clothes. Talk about being destroyed as a people, right? It says in Wisdom of Solomon 12:5, and also those merciless murderers, right, of children and devourers of man's flesh. That's why the women had the babies with blood in it, because they're serving the same God of the Canaanites. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 is speaking about the worship of Baal and Canaanite deities. Same thing that Balenciaga and the Edomites are doing. Same exact thing. The Edomites worship a lot of the ancient Canaanite gods because they don't have a god of their own. So they found the so-called gods that deal with the most satanic rituals. That's why they said, look, we're going to worship the Canaanite gods. Even the Pope has a hat that goes back to the Canaanite god Dagon or the Philistine god Dagon, man. The Pope. So all of these rich elites, Edomites, they fulfill Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12:5. I'm going to read one more. Verse 6. Wisdom of Solomon 12:6. With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands, souls destitute of help. Because parents took the deal, man. A lot of these parents, they took the deal. Oh, my child's going to be a model. A lot of these parents sold their children. Some were stolen. But the Bible is letting you know that human trafficking and child sacrifice was prevalent in ancient Canaan under the idolatrous worship of Baal. And it's prevalent today. You got it, King.
God, you know, we got to have the spirit, man, of Hezekiah, man. All right, we got to destroy, right, and literally demolish these false idols, man. All right, we can't sit there and have that spirit, man, like a lot of these wicked kings dealing with the northern kingdom. Right, you're literally operating in the spirit of the wicked kings of the northern kingdom when you're wanting to continue to push this narrative that the so-called white man wants us to push, and worshiping and spending all of our money on items that literally promote child sacrifice, man. I'm going to bring this out. This is 2 Kings chapter 18. We'll start at verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign. Right, I'm going to jump down to verse 3. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father did. He removed the high places and brake the images and cut down the groves and break in pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it. And he called it Nehushtan, right? And he trusted in the Lord God of Israel, so that after him was none like him all among all the kings of Judah, nor any that were before him, right? So we have to literally have that same spirit. And this is what we're trying to do as men of the Lord by revealing these things so that we can remove these false idols, so that we can get our people out of the mind of wickedness, man, thinking that they have to partake in spending all their money for Balenciaga and all these high-end clothing brands, right, that promote nothing but wickedness. But when you want to sit there and deny the facts as Israelites, deny the facts as Jake and Eve that is being presented to you, then you're literally operating in that spirit of like King Manasseh and the rest of these northern kingdom kings, man. I'm gonna bring this out real quick and I'll let you have it, King. This is 2 Kings chapter 21. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hephathibah. Verse 2. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel. So we trying to cast these things out, right? But you want to sit there and operate of that spirit of King Manasseh, right? And bring these things back up and do abominable things amongst the Most High. Verse 3. For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed, and he reared up altars for Baal and made a grove, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the host of heaven and served them. So all you doing is just rebuilding Baal, right? And this is what Esau wanted us to do, right? He had this planned out before he ever put out one thing dealing with Balenciaga. You have to realize that, this man, right? This stuff was because all their stuff is hidden, which is why the Most High has to reveal these things, right? When you want to sit there and wear that hat with the matching shirt, right, then you are just promoting wickedness. You're promoting Molech. You're promoting Baal, right? And as you continue to go down, I'm gonna continue since he's got this up. I'm gonna start at verse 6 in 2 Kings chapter 21, verse 6. And he made his son pass through the fire in observed times and used enchantments and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. So you have a lot of witches, you got a lot of wizards, you got a lot of enchantments that's behind these clothing brands. And you don't even realize it, man. While you're spending $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000, man, for a pair of Balenciaga shoes, man. Right? With nasty 12-inch thick leather at the bottom of it, man. Because you 5'2" and you want to be 5'3", 5'4", and you think those shoes are gonna help that, man. Right? All you doing is just promoting wickedness, man. So we got to get up out of this thing, man. Real talk. You got it, King.
Yeah, and that's what Jake is into, man. Right? As you're looking on the screen, it says Molech, also spelled Molech, a Canaanite deity associated in biblical sources with the practice of child sacrifice. Right? Don't you know the so-called white man has sacrifice too? We have a sacrifice, right? We do in the ancient world. We offered lambs, right? We had bullocks. We had these different animals that were offered up to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. We had to do that to serve and appease Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai on the right-hand side. Don't you know Satan requires sacrifices? Didn't Kanye West come out and even say, look, people go up missing in Hollywood? His mother, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan's father, Jennifer Hudson. People lose people all the time, man. Satan has sacrifices too. In order to have a sacrifice to a god, there must be a priesthood. Not only are the Levites a priest on the right-hand side, but Esau has priests. They have wise men. When you read the book of Genesis, the Pharaoh had wise men and priests, man. Nebuchadnezzar had wise men and priests and wizards. Ahasuerus, or Xerxes in the book of Esther, he had wise men in Esther 1-13. Right? Exodus 7-9 on down, Pharaoh's wise men, they were dealing with enchantments. Don't think Esau let all of that be ancient world, right? Let it be in the ancient world. No, he does the same thing to this day. Esau has priests. And I'm not talking about the Catholic priest touching somebody's nephew, man. Father hands and father fingers, right? We're speaking about actual priests and actual garments offering up actual children and actual flesh to the spiritual demon Satan. That's why it says associated in biblical sources with the practice of child sacrifice. That's why Esau wants you to abort your baby. They take the fetus, they do God knows what with the fetus. They put it in food, they offer it up in sacrifices. They deal with baby blood, adrenochrome, with the whole nine. Right? The name, let me just read on. The name derives from the combining of consonants of the Hebrew word malak, or king, and bashat, meaning shame. The latter often being used in the Old Testament as what? As a variant for the popular god Baal. Right? And I'm not going to read this whole article, but the brother went into Manasseh. You read about Ahaz. It was a major, major stumbling block unto our people, man, to our forefathers. They got down with Baal, man. Did not the Lord have to kill over 400 prophets and men that worship Baal? Right? Jehu said, my father or this man worship Baal a little, but I'm going to worship him much. And he actually killed, let me get this precept, a whole bunch of men that were serving Baal. Right? This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 10 and verse 18. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal. So the Most High has prophets, Baal has prophets, Esau has prophets, monthly prognosticators, wizards, people that look into the future, sorcery. When you have a god, you have to have those things. So-called gods have mediums or like a prophet, and they have a priesthood, and they get it from Yahweh Bash and Yahushai. The Most High has a prophethood, and he has a priesthood. Same thing of those heathen gods. They have wicked prophets, wizards, and warlocks, and they have wicked priests, man. You know? So let me read on real quick. So Jehu, he's about to overthrow the men that serve Baal. Now, this 2 Kings 10 and 19. Now, therefore, call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants, and all his priests. Let none be wanting, for I have a great sacrifice to do to Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtlety, to the intent that he might destroy the worshipers of Baal. So he said, I'm going to call everybody that wants to serve Satan. Right? And everybody came. And Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent through all Israel, and all the worshipers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came to the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. And it is full, man, because Jake is heavy into Balenciaga, designer, witchcraft, sorcery. The house of the Most High is empty. You have brothers waking up and coming to the truth, but the house of Baal is full, man. Right? Just like in the ancient world. And he said unto them that was over the vestry, bring forth vestments for all the worshipers of Baal. And he brought forth vestments. Now, what is a vestment? Let's pull this up. Right? Let's pull up the definition. A vestment is a cause or chasuble or robe worn by the clergy during services. So a vestment is clothes, a garment. So Baal has actual vestments that come with him if you worship him. There are actual clothes that Baal has set up from the spiritual demon Satan through his priest that men have to wear. Same thing in the ancient world. Let me read that again. 2 Kings 10 and 22. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, meaning over the clothes, their top designer, their top sewer, their top man that made the garments. Bring forth the vestments for all the worshipers of Baal. And he brought forth vestments. So that's what Jake do, man. They're bringing forth the vestments now. Now it's $500. Now it's $600. Now it's a stack, like the brother said. These are the modern day vestments of Baal. Verse 23, 2 Kings 10 and 23. And Jehu went, and Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, into the house of Baal, and said unto the worshipers of Baal, and they all got their garments on, like Jake got their Balenciaga on. Jehu would have killed you, man, right, with your vestment on. And said unto the worshipers of Baal, search and look that there be here with you none of the servants of the Lord, but the worshipers of Baal only. And when he left, and when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings like children, beasts, babies, Jehu appointed 80 men with the men whom I have brought into your hands escape. He that letteth them go, his life shall be for the life of him. Meaning what? You can read the whole chapter on your own, but Jehu killed all of the men in the house of Baal with they Baal garments on. Just like your modern day, where's the picture? Balenciaga on. You are put to death in the ancient world. It's not just with clothes, put it on. You have clothes that, like the brother said, clothes have a spirit on them. You have clothes dedicated to particular gods and deities, man. So brothers should understand the severity of wearing these clothes, because you're promoting nothing but sorcery and witchcraft. And last time I checked, it says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, man, in the book of Exodus. But you got it, King.
Con. This is Judges chapter 2. We'll start at verse 10. The second off what the brother was saying. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. Because you got a lot of our people that don't know the true works of the Lord. They don't know how we were delivered out of Egypt. They don't know, you know what I'm saying, that we were forced to serve these other idols, man, and other false gods. Right? Verse 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord and served Baalim, right? Or Baal. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. So you don't want to sit there and continue to keep promoting the Lord to anger, right? It looks like we lost a brother, right? Lord willing, he'll get back on. But you're provoking the Most High to anger when you're wanting to continue to rock these type of clothing, man, right? To put that stuff on, right? I don't care if you have it in your closet, man, and you bought these things before you even found this out. Hey, if you are truly a man of the Lord, right, and finding this stuff out, then you're going to take that stuff, man. You're going to do just like, you know what I'm saying, that other lady did and burn it, man. Right? Just like a lot of our women, they'll take their pants, right, and they'll burn that once they learn that they're an Israelite, right, and start rocking dresses, man, in modest apparel, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 23. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites, right? So you got to understand all this. All they do, right, is they do child sacrifice, right? They do all these rituals that are wicked amongst the Most High God. And then our people, we're partaking in these same rituals when we are partaking in wearing this type of clothing and promoting this thing. And I'm going to get this last precept and I'll let you take it, King. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So just like our mighty forefathers would slay a lot of our people who wanted to worship Baal, right? Literally kill them, right? Hey, yeah, how was Shai now him being that ultimate sacrifice? If you want to continue to serve Baal and his wickedness, when Christ comes back, he's going to slay you, just like he's going to slay our enemies. So you have to make a choice. All this stuff that's being revealed, you don't have time to sit there and just think, oh, well, you know, I got it in my closet, you know what I'm saying? I see what it's about, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hold on to it just for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting cold out here. Let me hold on to that thing. No, you got to get rid of that thing, right? You have to make a decision whom you're going to serve. You can't serve two gods. You can't serve two masters. So even our forefathers, you know, who destroyed these false idols and also destroyed our people before Christ came, who wanted to serve Baal, hey, it's going to be 10 times worse when Yahweh Shai comes back, man.
Right.
And you got to realize that, man. Is your life, you know what I'm saying, is eternal life, you know what I'm saying, is literally putting away eternal life, is that worth that Balenciaga? Right? It's not, man. We want eternal life. Hey, we're going to be rocking precious jewels, right? The kingdom's going to be made of things that we can possibly even imagine, man. Stuff that Esau can't even find. Stuff that we're going to have to literally have our enemies go and dig these things up, man. Right? Hey, you think the 144,000 chosen elect man of the Lord is going to be rocking Balenciagas? No. They're going to be rocking glorious apparel, man. Thus said the Lord. But you got it, King.
Con. Is it worth it, man? And you know, we could close out on this precept real quick. This 1 Kings chapter 18 and 21. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahweh be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answer him not a word. So that's the ultimatum. If the Most High God, Yahweh, Bashmi Awashai be God, if he's the Most High, the Heavenly Father, then follow him, man. If you want to follow the world, the spiritual demon Satan, people that are into all manner of sorcery and witchcraft, then follow them, man. But we're going to serve the Most High God up here, man, and pray that you do the same, right? But with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai, Most High willing you were edified. Brother Naquam,
Brother Zamran,
Kwam Yashala, Shalom.
Kwam Yashra, Shalom.